Trump's travel ban is coming. We now know that 43 countries are on that list. Is your country included? Stay tuned. I'll tell you everything in this video. Which countries are included, what's going to happen with this ban, when it's going to be impacted, and will green card holders also be impacted? Hello everybody, and welcome back to Immigration Channel. In this video, I'll be covering the upcoming travel ban. We got so many comments, so many questions from people that are watching and are wondering what's going to happen with this travel ban. Will my country be impacted? And if I'm impacted, how will I be able to come to the United States if I'm applying for a work visa, a family petition, a green card, or even a regular non-immigrant visa? I'm going to try to cover as much as I can in this video, so make sure you watch this all the way until the end. I'm going to cover all the different elements of this ban. This ban has 3 different groups. We'll talk about each one of these groups and what exactly you need to know. So again, make sure you watch this video all the way until the end so you don't miss not only your country as well, but also understanding all your families will be impacted. So let's jump right in. A draft memo of the travel ban was leaked a few days ago and was released in the New York Times. And based on this article and a few other memos that were leaked since then, we now know that there's a defined list of 43 countries that are going to be targeted under this travel ban. Now, let's go back and understand why is this happening. It is happening because on January 20th, when he signed his executive orders, many executive orders, one of these executive orders protecting the United States from international foreign terrorists, one of the things in this executive order was that he was going to create a travel ban. They're going to have 2 months to come up with a plan to figure out which countries who are not vetting their citizens properly, who are not having proper protections from their citizens coming to the United States, how they're coming to the United States, those people, those countries will be subject to a particular ban. And we waited all this time, and now we have some more information about, first of all, what this ban is going to be about and what countries are going to be included. So what do we know so far? So far, we know that we have 43 countries identified on this travel ban. And within those 43 countries, they're going to divide them into 3 groups. The first group, they call it the red zone. The second is going to be the orange zone. And the third is the yellow zone. These zones or tier system are going to be determining what is the level of restriction that the countries on the list will have. So if we go with the red zone, the red tier, countries in that list are completely banned from the United States. And at this moment, we don't know if they're going to be allowed to get any waivers or any other exceptions. For now, it's a complete ban. The second tier is the orange area. In the orange area, countries listed there are subject to limitations. It's not a complete ban, but they have visa limitations on how they can come to the United States. The third zone, the third tier, the yellow tier, those countries are not banned. They now have 60 days to make changes to the vetting, how they are processing restrictions on their nationals before they're traveling to the United States. And then the government is going to review again that list and determine if their nationals will have restrictions coming into the United States. And somewhere on my screen, you should see the list of the countries on the red zone. I'm not going to list all the countries on the red zone, but you can see them on the screen. We're looking at countries like Afghanistan, Cuba, Iran, North Korea, Yemen, and Venezuela. Those countries on the red list are at the moment completely banned from entering the United States. Also, what we are not familiar with at the moment is whether green card holders from those countries are also banned from travel or not. This is something that we're waiting for some guidance yet to be announced. But remember that people who are coming from those countries, whether you're applying for non-immigrant visa, whether you're applying for immigrant visa, green card, whether you're applying for a work visa, you got to be careful because, again, we don't have the information right now, but if it's a complete ban, I would imagine that they won't let people apply for visas at the moment. People that are waiting for interviews will be descheduled, which will obviously increase the backlog of visas for people that are waiting to come from those countries. The big question is, are they going to allow waivers on a case-by-case basis? For example, if somebody is an exceptional, if somebody needs to come to the United States for a particular reason, are they going to issue waivers? Those are things that we don't know yet. But of course, once we know, I will create another video to update you. So this is the red list, complete ban. Moving to list number 2, zone number two, the orange list. The orange list will carry limitations. People from that list will be able to enter the United States, but they're going to be subject to certain limitations. Maybe they're going to have to register. Maybe they're going to have to provide additional documents before they come to the United States. We're looking at countries like Belarus, like Russia, Pakistan, Haiti, South Sudan, and many other countries on that list. Again, if you see your name of the country on that list, the list should be somewhere here on the screen. Remember that you're not completely banned, but you're going to have visa restrictions. The other thing for countries on the orange list is that you will be experiencing extra scrutiny when you apply for a visa. So if you are from the red list, you probably won't even have any visa interviews because you're banned at the moment. From the orange list, you will still be subject to an interview, and they're going to decide at that interview on a case-by-case basis if A, you should be granted a visa, and B, whether you should be able to enter the United States. Also, remember, if you're on the orange list, once you travel to the United States, even if they give you a visa at the embassy, so imagine you're somebody from Pakistan, you got a visa at the embassy, even though you are on the list, you show up at the port of entry, a CBP officer will conduct further investigation, further interview, because you're on that list. They'll ask you certain questions. They're going to have their instructions, what to do at the airport, how to question you. So remember, even if you pass hurdle number one and you get your visa and your passport and you're on the orange list, you show up in the United States at the CBP port of entry, you will be subject to further interview, further scrutiny. And if you pass that, then you'll be able to come to the United States, possibly under some restrictions. We don't know that yet, but that is how it's going to work with this orange list. Remember, guys, if your country is on that list, you are still in good shape. You can still come to the United States. We have a lot of people from Pakistan who are watching these videos, and I'm telling you guys, don't be worried. It just means that you have to prepare more for the interview. It means that you have to be more aggressive about what you are putting in your case, more evidence, more guidance, more things that you need to show the government and say, hey, I qualify for this visa. Please give it to me. That's all it means. So just a little bit more work, but at least you are not completely barred. At least you can still come to the United States with your families and apply for non-immigrant visas, for immigrant visas, and all the good stuff. So orange list, you in good shape so far. But that means more scrutiny. And that means, guys, you got to take interviews in a more serious way. Now let's move to the yellow list. Countries on that list are not barred, they're not limited yet, but you guys have 60 days to correct certain things. And those things will be sent to your countries, to your governments, in terms of vetting, in terms of checking passports, to make sure that people in those countries are getting passports the proper way. When they arrive to the United States, before they leave the country, is there proper vetting? Did you check if they're criminals or not? If you're going to improve that based on the list that your government will be getting from the United States, then you'll be removed from the list and your nationals will be able to move to the United States just like before this potential ban. Also, countries that are on the yellow list will have to provide more info sharing with the United States. Currently, it's kind of deficient. And if they're going to be willing to do that, then they will be removed from the list and their nationals will be able to move to the United States freely like they did before. So 60 days, make those corrections, and then the list will be updated. Once again, what is behind this plan? Why are they doing this? This is all because of these executive orders from January 20th. One of them was massive, talking about national security, talking about fighting terrorism. In that one, they had specific requirements about vetting. They're saying some countries are not giving us enough information. We don't have enough information about people coming here to the United States. That fingerprints we're doing is not sufficient enough. We're not getting enough records from the Interpol. We're not getting enough records from their police departments. We need that info to make decisions about these nationals. If you're going to share that, we're going to get rid of that list. We're going to remove your country from the list. So that's kind of the idea behind it. So they identify the list of countries. They're on that yellow list. And if they're not going to do the sharing, then that is where the problem starts. So that's kind of behind why they're doing this. Now, why is there a complete ban on some of these countries? Well, they identified that there's a lot of people that came to the United States in the past 4 years. Many of them were potential terrorists. That's what the government thinks. And as a result, these people from these countries, because of their bad relationship, hostile relationship with the United States, they can afford to allow them to come here. And as a result, they're completely banned. But as you know, there are many people from those countries that are qualified, scientists, family members that have green card holders, the US citizens sponsoring them. How is that going to impact the movement of these people? How is it going to impact interviews at embassies? Will there going to be waivers, special circumstances? We don't know that. But what we do know is that in 2017, they did have those waivers and those reconsiderations where people can apply on a case by case basis. And we think it will be the same here as well. But we don't have any guidance. And once we do, I'll be able to share them with you here in this channel. So what's next? Well, for the moment, the ban is not official yet, right? It's only a draft of the ban. So in the next few weeks, they're going to finalize it. They're going to give us a final date as to when it's going to start, which countries are going to be priority, and all the good things that we'll be able to share with you once we know. But for the moment, it's all in draft mode. It gives us enough time to prepare. So if you guys are outside of the United States and you are one of that list, you need to move yourself here before the end of March. That is a good thing to do. If you have the right to move to the United States, if you already have a visa, come here. If you don't, we're going to have to just wait and see on what's going to happen with the restrictions. If you're about to get an interview, try to expedite your interview. Try to move it before the end of March so you'll be covered before these bans will be implemented. Why is it so important to know about this? Because it's going to change how people move around the United States. Because guess what? Once these bans are going to be implemented, I feel like a lot of these countries that are on the yellow list and the orange list might have some retaliatory factors against US citizens in terms of what they allow US citizens to do when they come to those countries. Maybe they're going to have to register. Maybe they're going to have to apply for visas. It's going to change how people travel to the United States, but also from the United States to other countries. All that still remains to be seen. In the meantime, you need to know about this potential ban coming in. You need to prepare if you're going to be traveling, and obviously stay informed on my channel for what's going to happen next. As always, if you need help with your immigration matters, send me a text 619-483-4549 or go to www.immigrationasap.com. Leave your details and one of our team members will contact you ASAP. Now, if you're watching this video until now, please subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos, and also give us a big like so YouTube will be able to show this video to more people just like you. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you in our next video.